guys? Yeah, we got another Oktoberfest beer. This one today is from Weihenstephaner. And I'll admit, this is probably the one I've been looking forward to the most. I finally found it. It just hit not too long ago. I found it yesterday. And so here we go. And been looking all over town for all the latest Oktoberfest beers. And this is, I'm down to my final 5. It's, past the official date for when Oktoberfest starts. And I figure if some place is they would have released it by now. So I have 5 left, including this one. And we'll see. A little disappointed with the overall selection that I've found. I don't know if that's just for where I am or if that's just in general. But we'll see how this one goes. So, got that all poured. Let's get into the review and get into the smell. Oh, okay, that one definitely smells almost more Pilsner-y. You have much more of that kind of grainy aroma. Kind of little corn, little lemon zest. There is a bit of that nuttiness that you might get from an Oktoberfest beer, but this smells much lighter than what a lot of the other Oktoberfest beers are. What to drink it. I was having such a trouble getting some aroma out of the other beers. I decided to go with a different glass. This one's helping me smell, but I don't know if it's the glass or just the beer. There is maybe the uttermost hint of a maltiness to it. Not very pronounced at all. It's there, but not a lot. I think it smells pretty good, but it's not screaming Oktoberfest to me. If nobody told me Oktoberfest, that wouldn't really be the thing that I'd think of smelling this. But it smells like a pretty good beer. I'll recommend it for that. Let's get into the taste. Okay. You definitely get more of the maltiness to it. Not overpowering, but it's light. It's like a delicate malt. It isn't super overpowering. It's not that kind of razor edge on the sides of your tongue. It's just enough to let you know that it's there. So if you're not super into that heavy malty flavor, I think you'll love it. It has almost a creaminess to it. Okay, and I'm getting a little more of that maltiness now with the next sip. It's still lighter. It has some of that kind of almost like a piney nut taste to it. There's just pine tree over a little bit of a pine tree aroma mixed in with a nuttiness. So not pine nut, separate the two. And there is still a hint of a Pilsner. It's there's a little bit of that in there, not a lot. I feel like the malted Oktoberfest is really kind of coming out with each sip. I get more and more and more of it with every sip that I take. So it's almost like it's getting heavier with each sip, which is interesting. I mean, it's weird. It's say you're eating a dessert that has a very clean taste to it. Maybe it's a lemon, something lemony. Very clean. You eat it, you get the sweetness, and boom, it's done. And it's nice, it's nice and neat like that, and then you put like some like heavy whipped cream on it, and so you have that nice clean edge, and then like that creamy frothiness on top. In a weird kind of way, that's what this beer is like. It's got, if you get kind of like this clean edge, almost a hint of like a Pilsner-y kind of thing, very like cut, boom, this is what it is. And then there's almost like this creamy maltiness to it on the top. And I don't know if that food analogy kind of explains it very well, but that's really what I'm getting. It's like, you know, you got it nice and neat, and then you got that, like, it's kind of like creamy whatever thing going on, where it's kind of all over the place at the top. So it's real interesting with how, you know, that all that's going on. But I like it. The maltiness isn't as overpowering as some of the Oktoberfest beers I've had. I like the levels of it. It's working pretty well, so I will recommend it on taste. Alright, next category is value for price, and I believe this is one of, I mean, not super expensive. I believe it was like $2.29, $2.30, and I mean, it is the world's oldest brewery. But, I mean, $2.29, you know, I'll recommend it for value for price. That's really kind of like that sweet spot. $2, $2.25 is really that sweet spot for a lot of the Oktoberfest beers that I have had so far. That's really where most of them, if you're looking for them now, you're going to get that outside of a Sam Adams and Leinenkugel, which is a little less, but for the most part, that's really about what you're going to end up paying. So I think it's fair. So I recommend it for value for price. Next category is distinction. How distinct is it? It's distinct enough where you definitely could pick it out from others. It definitely has that more refined maltiness to it. It's not over the top and as harsh as some of the others. So it tastes like it's a beer that they have been making for a while. It doesn't taste like something where, you know, you gotta hurry, spur of the moment. Ah, crap, you know, we gotta make a seasonal. Because Weihenstephaner, I'm gonna assume they don't make a ton of seasonals. Maybe like 3 others outside of the normal like rotation of beers that they make. You know, there's this Oktoberfest. They might make like a Christmas one, but they don't really make, I mean, they don't really do anything super crazy, at least delivered to the States. Maybe in Europe you could find something that's a little more seasonal, but you know, so this is like, it's almost like a yearly staple, so they don't have to really try to reinvent the wheel every year. This is just a recipe that they break out for a month or two and then put it back in the closet. It's like that old Disney Vault thing that you saw with the cartoons, you know, back from like the mid-90s. Like, oh, Cinderella's coming out of the vault. And they release it for a month and then say you can't buy it for another 10 years, which is horse shit. But kind of like, I guess that's kind of like, yes, a Cinderella. Hey, they based the Cinderella's castle in Disney World off of the castle in Germany, so now I'm just rambling. But distinction, yes, it is. I mean, it's Oktoberfest beer, or I mean a fest beer as they put on here. They don't slap it with the label Oktoberfest, but it tastes like, you know, your Oktoberfest beer with a little variety, and it tastes very well done. You can taste the history with it, so yes, I'm going to recommend it for distinction. Next category is drinkability. I mean, I think it's a very nice beer. I don't know if I personally would want to get a 6-pack and just drink all of them at once. I feel like I'd get a 6-packs and then kind of spread it out. It is very a very German beer. There's not like crazy flavors going on. You don't have like the flavors that you get in like a Belgian beer or whatever. It's very, you drink it, you're like, okay, this is good, but it's very on the nose. This has got to be a German beer, without even, you know, knowing where it's from. You'd know it was just a good German beer, and I mean, yeah, I think it drinks pretty well. If I was really in the mood for this particular style of beer right at this moment, I could sit down and watch a football game and drink it, and they'd be fine. So yeah, I'll recommend it for drinkability. It goes down smooth enough where you wouldn't have much of a problem, and it's it's that 5.8% sweet spot of the Oktoberfest beers. I mean, Budweiser is marketing Bud Light Platinum, which is like 6%. That's basically this. Percentage just this has a whole lot more flavor. So, what are you gonna do? But yeah, I'll recommend it for drinkability. And the last category is would I buy it again? And I mean, I like this brewery. It's one of my favorites. They have some of the best tasting wheat beers in the galaxy. If they're making beers in some other planet, the wheat beers from this place can definitely compete. So this is a fantastic, phenomenal brewery, and I'll say this is not my favorite from them. There's others I definitely like more, but it's something if I felt like going with an Oktoberfest beer, something that's a little different, I'd have no problem buying this again. It kind of also would depend on what else was around at the time, but yeah, I'll recommend it for I buy it again. I have no problem buying it again. I think it's fair priced, it tastes good, it's fine. So yes, and I believe I recommend it for every single spot, every single category, so it gets the official Two Dudes stamp of approval. I'm gonna have to think about whether this really takes my personal top Oktoberfest beer. I've had a couple others that have reached, the pinnacle of recommendation from every category, but it's nice to have a good tasting beer kind of in the final stretch of this Oktoberfest beer sampling, because now after this I got 4 left, and we will see how those other 4 hold up. But what do you think? What do you think of the Festbier from Weihenstephaner? Do you like it? Have you found it yet? Because this just hit me, and I'm actually really disappointed with some of the German beers that have not reached me. I'm kind of bummed out on some of them that haven't gotten to me yet. But what are you gonna do? But yeah, let me know in the comments, like, subscribe, do all the good stuff, and also let me know either in this video or on some of the other videos. So I've kind of just exclusively looked at Oktoberfest beers over the last almost month. Is this something that you liked? Would you like to see a different seasonal thing like that? I'd have to think of a season where it's very more specific. Maybe I could even do the pumpkin beers, because that's more, you could kind of compare them easier. The holiday beers are a little more all over the place. So I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think. All the good stuff. And so for myself and for Weihenstephaner Festbier, take it easy.